A very impactful quote that I heard is that it would be such a shame to go through life with this body given to us that we only get one life to use and not see it reach its full potential, both physically and mentally. Hello and welcome to the Jake Bowler podcast, where I discuss all things health, fitness and mindset related. Quickly, for those who are watching this on YouTube because they do prefer that visual stimulus as well as the audio, I won't be talking directly to the camera all the time, just purely because this is a podcast and the audio is more important to me, and the setup that I currently have, I want to make sure the audio is the best quality that I can give for you guys. So thank you for listening to the podcast, applying all the topics that I do talk about into your daily lives and sharing it with your friends and family. I am so humbled and full of gratitude. Currently in my life, there are a lot of big changes and exciting events happening, which has me so full of energy, excited, and I just want to share that with you guys. If you are someone who is struggling in the gym, struggling with your own mindset, or you're unsure of where you're heading with your fitness and personal endeavors, having self-doubt, unsure of why you even train to begin with, you're looking for forward direction, or even wanting to take your fitness to the next level and level up your own mindset, break out of your current habits and become the best version of yourself. We're currently running a one-on-one training program. It goes for 12 weeks for hardworking and driven individuals. It's called Ascend. Recently launched it a couple of days ago. If you're someone who does want to learn all the tools to create your own meal plans that work for you and your body, design the most optimized training routines so you never have to go to the gym and hire a coach again. You don't want to, people get stuck in that routine of having to hire a coach, go to the gym, they get a personal trainer for the next 12-15 weeks, and they feel like they're out of pocket so much, and they're not learning anything. They're just told what to do. And if you want to level up your current mindset, change your beliefs, gain confidence, and better understand your body to become the best version you can possibly be, to ascend your current self, ascend beyond your current limits, a very impactful quote that I heard is that it would be such a shame to go through life with this body given to us that we only get one life to use and not see it reach its full potential, both physically and mentally. So if this is right for you, please send me a message on Instagram. You're ready to ascend, say you're ready, whatever it might be. And then we can organize just a one-on-one call, get you on the path to ascend beyond your limits to the better version of yourself that you can be. Cool. So this is a really super exciting episode, as it is the first one. The plan is to be up once every week to every fortnight, depending on my schedule and the production quality that I'm actually looking for in this. I'm also traveling away to Canada soon, so that's sort of going to mess things around a bit while I'm setting myself up. I have plenty of special guests lined up before I head off, and I want to try and get those done for you guys because they're going to be really, really exciting. I've got about 4 or 5 people lined up already. So let's dive right into it. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what the podcast is about, considering this is the first one, and a few things that I'll dive into each week, and who I am as well. So, who is Jake Bowler? Who am I? I grew up in Darwin, in the Northern Territory of Australia, then moved to Adelaide at about 16. I've been here ever since. I'm 25, so far out, coming up to 10 years nearly, which is ridiculous. I've played AFL or Aussie Rules all my life, and I've always had a passion for whether it was running when I was younger and working out at the age about the age of 16, where I started calisthenics, and then moved more into the gym focused stuff at around 18 years old as well. I have my bachelor's degree in podiatry and have done numerous online courses for sports rehabilitation, coaching, mindset, you name it. And what is the podcast about? So, first of all, I'm going to be talking about fitness, of course. Training, programming, your mindset around training is a really, really big one for me. I find that mindset is the one biggest thing that people do tend to lack quite a lot. So changing beliefs, changing mindsets to improve and increase your performance, ascend beyond your limits is going to be really big for this. Nutrition timing, calories, macros, what to eat, when to eat, why we eat it, where our food comes from. All those things play a massive, massive role in our nutrition. And I want to give you the tools to be able to learn all this stuff, apply it into your daily lives, and then that way it can fuel your body, fuel your performance, fuel you at work, and that way you're not feeling like you're lacking energy throughout the day. Mindset, so how important it is to have good mindset to achieve peak human conditioning. Yes, mindset is important for your workflow, it's important for your training. It's just so important. If we want to be the best version we can possibly be, if we want to try and ascend beyond everyone else, work harder than everyone else, our mindset has to be at its peak. And that's what I want to try and get for you guys through this podcast and through all my training. And again, having special guests to talk about different topics and different successes in either their industry or in this space that we're talking about here. The program is for anyone that I'm doing currently called Ascend. It is for anyone looking to break out of the cycle of buying those 8-week online programs, hiring a personal trainer at the gym. My goal is to teach you and give you the knowledge and skills to design your own personalized meal plans, your own personalized routines, and most importantly, give you the mindset to change any limiting beliefs around your training or your nutrition or whatever it might be throughout your life. A part of this podcast, I want to give you a little bit of information around training volume, because I find that's a big thing that people tend to overlook or not use properly in their training. So, I'll ask the question first. So, are you stalled for progress in the gym, whether it's for several weeks or no progress at all for a few weeks or for a few months even? So if the answer is no, obviously you're going to keep the volume the same. Like, you're doing everything right, obviously. Your training's good, your nutrition's good, everything, your recovery is really good. So just keep doing what you're doing. There's no need to increase your volume. If your progress is stalled, however, you got to ask yourself, are you being consistent and are you feeling consistently motivated? But not only motivated, but are you disciplined enough to be going consistently as well? Because motivation comes and goes. So whether we're disciplined or not is another big thing. If the answer is no, before you increase volume, please make sure that your training is sustainable and enjoyable, and maybe you got to revisit why your training goals matter to you. Like, what is the true purpose of why you're training? You might have forgotten that. You might have been training for a long time and you've forgotten what the purpose of your training is. Go back, look at that sort of stuff, and see if that's going to get you remotivated and get you more disciplined to go to the gym more consistently, and you'll start seeing more progress. If you are being consistent, however, and you are motivated all the time, do you feel well recovered is the next question you got to ask. So if it's a yes, do you feel well recovered? Are you sleeping enough? Are you getting minimal aches and pains? Are you doing all the right recovery stuff? Is there no increased loss of motivation? Because like I said, we don't always have motivation all the time. But are you feeling even more or even less motivated than normal is another big question to ask yourself. If no, and your recovery is really, really good and you're feeling great, try to maybe improve just small things, like improve your sleep, make sure you're getting enough protein, your calories are as either as high or as maybe not as low as they can be, because that can impact you a lot as well, but your calories are the right amount that what you're doing, and you're not overdoing your RPE, so your rate of perceived exertion. Make sure that you're not pushing every single set to failure, essentially. Don't go, 10 out of 10 RPE, your last set and last rep on every single exercise is to failure. It's probably a bit much, I think. If anything, you could even consider reducing your weekly volume by 20% and then reassess your recovery in 1 to 2 weeks. If, however, yes, you're recovering really well and you're feeling great, are you training hard enough? Let's be honest, are you truly training as hard as you possibly can? Make sure you're honest with yourself, because sometimes we think we're training really hard, but we're not. We're really not. So if the answer to that is no, you're not always training hard, then work on hitting, you've surely got your RPEs or your target RPE written down, whether it's a 7 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, whatever it might be, but make sure you're pushing closer to failure. If you're stalling for progress, you may not just be training hard enough. You might be living too much in the tank, and you might need to just train that a little bit harder. So don't adjust your volume, just train a little bit harder. Increase your intensity, and that can come with mindset as well. If you are training honestly, as hard as you can, are you consistently training with good technique as well? That's another thing you've got to be honest about. intensity and your technique are two big things you've got to be really honest about with yourself. If no, sometimes, you get to the end of your working set and your form starts to slip, or your RP is 9 or 10, your body's doing all sorts of weird shit. Fix your technique up. Every single set and rep should look the exact same. Pay much closer attention to how you're doing every single rep, every single set. Don't let it slip. Get your form right. Don't adjust your volume. Fix your form, and then we can look at increasing volume if that is the problem. If yes, everything above that I've talked about, you're consistently good with your technique, then sure, you've said yes to everything. Everything's going good. Your diet, your recovery, you're consistently training hard enough. Your form is perfect. Yes. Increase your volume by, it could be 10, 20%. I wouldn't go much more than 20%, to be honest, but that's probably as much as you're going to need. And that is going to wrap up this week's podcast. I'm going to try and keep it nice and short and nice and simple. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. If you gained any value from the podcast or any of my other podcasts that will come out later, it would be amazing if you could just share them on your story or on Facebook or whatever it is that you use. I'd really greatly appreciate it, whether you email it to someone. If you use email, it'll be work email, and you just spam it to everyone. That would be awesome. The more people that hear it, hopefully someone can get some sort of value out of this. That's my goal, is to try and give you guys value for free through my podcast. If any of this sounds like it interests you or resonates with you, and you would like to go deeper into some of these concepts, or you would like to learn more, or even just have a couple of questions, feel free to reach out. Head over to my website, or onto my Instagram. My Instagram is Jake Bowler, Bowler, not Bowler. Jake Bowler with an extra R on the end, because someone stole my last name, unfortunately, and my first name. And just send me through a message, send me through a DM, whatever it might be. And we can have a chat there. We can organise a Zoom call or a phone call and go deeper into some of these learnings if that's what you want. Like I said, I also have my private one-on-one program called Ascend, recently launched, where I help driven, hardworking, determined individuals who are stuck in a rut, unsure of what to do next in their fitness and training journey, want to learn the best evidence-based practices to take them to the next level. Be the best that you can possibly be. We do weekly personal calls. I give you all the information and tools to become the best physical version and mental version of yourself, and introduce you to a community of people who are going through the exact same thing as you, hardworking, driven, but just unsure of how to take it to the next level, how to ascend beyond their current limits. I've got a bunch of free ebooks coming soon around training, nutrition, and philosophy to my website as well. But I'll be sure to keep you all updated with all that stuff as it becomes available. You're welcome. There's a link in my Instagram with where you can chuck an email down, and I can email all that free stuff through to you once it does become available. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you get anything out of this, please share on any socials, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Peace.